I'm using a throwaway account because I'm not ready to share this publicly. I've been married for 8 years, but now I'm thinking about getting a divorce. To be honest, I'm confused about my feelings. I'm not sure if I'm truly unhappy or if I've just been made to feel this way. I don't feel the same love for my spouse as I used to. And to make things more complicated, I've developed feelings for someone else. But even if I get a divorce, I don't think I'll end up with this other person. The thought of divorce has crossed my mind before, but now I feel even more guilty about it. My spouse has a nerve condition that stops them from working. At first, I was happy to support them and take care of everything, but now I'm wondering if I did too much. My spouse relies on me for everything, yet they're still able to do lots of things like gardening, taking care of our niece and nephew, and even going camping, which they wanted to do. It seems like they can handle activities that are just as physically demanding as some jobs. This makes me feel like a bad person for thinking this way. I've suggested paying for online courses so my spouse can learn new skills and work remotely or freelance from home. They always seem excited about the idea, but never actually do anything about it. They also come up with ideas to make more money from their Etsy shop, but those ideas never become a reality. It's frustrating because they talk about these easy and simple ideas a lot, but never think they're important enough to actually follow through on them. What's even more frustrating is that my spouse's diet is really unhealthy, consisting only of junk food. No matter how hard I try, I can't get them to join me in eating healthy. When I was trying to get healthy a few years ago, I had to make 2 separate meals every night because they refused to eat nutritious food. As a result, they've gained a lot of weight, which makes their condition worse. It feels like they're intentionally sabotaging their own health. They constantly complain about their condition, yet they're making choices that worsen it. It seems like they're headed for even more serious health problems, like diabetes and further nerve damage, if they don't change their ways. I understand how hard it is to live with nerve pain because I have my own condition, but it feels like my spouse's comfort and happiness are the only things that matter to them. They've seen me struggle with stress and financial difficulties for years. They know how hard I work, despite my own pain. But they don't seem to care about our financial situation or the impact their choices have on our family. They just want to smoke and relax, which isn't helping our situation. Last year, I had a severe nerve injury, but I kept working through the pain because giving up wasn't an option. I couldn't just let us become homeless and struggle to survive. I also have issues with how my spouse treats our pets. We have 3 dogs, including one high-energy dog that's easily stressed. I spent months training this dog as a puppy to manage its aggression, but my spouse still plays games that get the dog excited and stressed, calling it teasing. This recently led to our dog biting a friend's dog, thankfully without serious injury. I explained to my spouse why teasing is a bad idea, and they stopped for a month, but now they've started again, which is really frustrating. My spouse and I almost didn't get married. While we were engaged, they cheated on me with someone I really disliked, a narcissist. When they confessed, they offered to cut ties with this person, but I said I might need space from them too. They seemed surprised and angry, but agreed. However, they didn't follow through and continued talking to this person. In fact, they even visited them the day before our wedding, saying they needed closure. I think I only went through with the marriage because I was afraid of being humiliated if I called it off. At the time, I thought I was being strong, but now I realize that was a mistake. This behavior continued on and off for a while. One time, I caught them texting with the person they cheated with, sending kissy faces. I lied and said I saw their phone light up and noticed the name. My spouse confessed they had turned off notifications from this person so I wouldn't see them. They claimed they didn't know why this person was sending them flirtatious messages, which was clearly a lie. It was obvious they were hiding something, especially since they were deleting their message history with this person, someone they'd known for years. Was I foolish to forgive my spouse for cheating? Yes, I was. I'm not even sure why I did. The person they had an affair with ended up taking their own life a few years later, and that's the only reason we're still together. It's only now that I realize that fear of humiliation and the guilt of being connected to someone's suicide are the 2 main reasons I stayed in this marriage. It's a painful truth to acknowledge. Now, I'm faced with the reality of paying alimony for my mistake. To escape this situation, I'll have to be prepared to suffer even more financial hardship. It means I'll have to accept going deeper into debt and financial struggles for a few years. It's a difficult pill to swallow. But I feel it's necessary to move on from this toxic marriage. There's another issue: my spouse's hoarding behavior. Every flat surface in our home is cluttered with their belongings, and it's even spilled over onto the deck. I'm too embarrassed to invite people over because of the state of our home. It feels like I'm just living in the shadow of their clutter, surrounded by their possessions. It's suffocating. It seems like my spouse has lost motivation and interest in taking care of themselves. Despite having nice clothes, they mostly wear the same old, worn-out shirts with holes in them, and their personal hygiene has been declining steadily. It's like they've stopped trying to take care of themselves and their appearance. My spouse has a short fuse, so I haven't dared to discuss any of these issues with them. Honestly, I'm not sure I want to. Whenever family or friends suggest they should get a job, they become enraged. Lately, I've been fantasizing about leaving and finding someone who's a responsible and functional partner. I feel like I'm dealing with a child, not a spouse. Recently, they accused me of only staying with them because of the dogs, and sadly, they're right. I denied it in the moment, but deep down, I know it's true. No one in my life would understand my situation because I don't openly share my struggles with them. Everyone thinks my spouse and I have a perfect relationship. If I decide to leave, I'm sure they'll assume it's just because of our financial problems. But that's only part of the story. The truth is, I feel exhausted, drained, and trapped in this relationship. I'm pulled down by my spouse's behavior and feel like I'm losing myself. Despite everything, my spouse and I still have good times together. We laugh and smile. But beneath the surface, I'm seething and silently suffering. I know ending this relationship won't be easy. It'll be devastating. I worry about how they'll cope financially, possibly relying on family support. Maybe this will finally motivate them to take responsibility and find direction. But that's not my concern anymore. Honestly, I'm lost and unsure about what's next.